that's going to be our last time. What's been going on? I've been gone for a while. Well, still here, but not videoing, because my mental health has been not great. But I feel like I'm kind of on the mend, because I have my new female psychiatrist who specializes in CPTSD. I see her this week, and I'm hoping, given my history, that I will be given an increase in my Equanimity. I don't have any expectations, but I'm hoping for the best. And then I see my new therapist the following week, female therapist, specializes in CPTSD. And chronic suicidal ideation. I added that. Every time I say it, I'm less ashamed to say it or scared to say it, because I know it freaks people out. I'd be freaked out if somebody told me I have chronic suicidal, but I would understand, because I would know exactly how they feel. And that brings me to my big news. Well, let me start off by saying, I have a passport. How much do passports cost? I never am in in the black. Usually. So, anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, I have this passport, and I want to stamp in it, and I'm 56, and off all my RA meds. I did this myself, because Acredo, you suck shit. And I'm so glad that there's a class action lawsuit against you and your parent company, Cigna, for making patients' lives, including mine, absolutely miserable and life-threatening, because I became I had active suicidal ideation. I even feel weird saying suicidal, because people are like, oh. And I get it. It's because we don't talk about mental health. I think we're talking about it more, because let me tell you, at work, everyone I know, or lots of people I know, are going to therapy, thinking, or are actually really thinking about going to therapy, have started taking meds. I'm not saying meds are always the answer, or that therapy is, they both work for me. And it's what gave me the 3 best years of my life. And since then, I've lost 12 years to bankruptcy, to homelessness, all while working in this great country of ours. It could be great if we cared enough. And even if we're overwhelmed with stresses in our life, just like kids, work, that it all has an underlying foundation of rot, and that is the capitalist system. I need to talk about this later. But anyway, you know how I feel about that. There's a new book out called Escape from Capitalism. My similar reading material lover friend. Oh, not my lover friend. Didn't mean to say that, but my a friend of mine who enjoys the same kind of books I enjoy. I'm high. I'm doing the best I can. And so, like I said, it's a book lover as I am a book lover. And I can tell you, because I think I have 1, 2, 3. These are just the last week. 4, 5, 6, 7 books. So far, I'm reading 3 of them at the same time. Anyway, I was like, I have this passport, and I have no stamps in it, so why did I pay $150 or whatever it was to have that? And I'm never gonna have, I can try my hardest, and I'm going to try my hardest, but I don't picture myself ever being financially stable. How sad. But anyway, and for that reason, yesterday I was like, um, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask my friend G if he wants to, because I had planned on letting him know, and I did let him know that this year I need out of the city. As much as I love his visits here, and we have such a nice time, it's exhausting, and I have come, at least in my current frame of my mental stability, I have come to not really enjoy the city at all. Well, I can't really enjoy it because I need barely enough money to just survive without going into debt to go out to dinner. So, anyway, I asked him if he wanted to. I figured he was fully booked. He was fully booked, but I asked him if he wanted to go to go to Greece with me, because I've always wanted to go, and a certain resort I've always wanted to stay in and experience, and he was already booked up, and that he said that to me last night, and I was like, no worries. And then, was it later last night? No, it was at work. Hell, I must have texted. Well, obviously I texted him, so I must have texted him during the day and said it was full. And then, um, at some point in the afternoon at work, I said, you know what? I'm gonna fucking go anyway. And I looked at my where I work, our holidays, federal holidays we take, and it just a good time just happens to coincide with, they say, one of the best months to be in Greece. And I took that as a sign. And I just said, fuck it, I'm doing this. I booked it, and what was really nice is I was able to book an option. It's a standard room. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's in a Greek. Beautiful. I think it was founded in 2020. Already has culinary stars, blah, 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 blah. It has a magnesium pool. And electric bikes that you can rent and go to the Aegean Sea, which is very short, and beautiful beaches of the Aegean Sea, within minutes. And I said, I have been suicidal twice in this past year. I mean, like, maybe even 3, but definitely 2 where I felt this close. And as I say that, I want to give a shout out to our dearest Katya. I just wish you, what did I write? I just wanted to get it right. I'm sending you love and comfort, Katya. It's funny because I was listening to Hot Blooded on my soundtrack before the gummies kicked in. And I was rocking out to it. It's a great song. It's a little problematic because it's, are you old enough? Will you be ready when I call your bluff? That's probably all I can say. But, and maybe I'm a bad feminist for keeping, but 70s and 80s, well, songs nowadays too, they all, but especially in like the era I grew up in, the bands, Zeppelin, The Who, who was I just talking about? Foreigner, Oh, remember My Sharona by the Knack? That is complete pedo stalker song. And yet it's on my playlist because they're not alone in it. And I don't know if they were a one-hit wonder. That may have been their biggest hit. I don't remember any other song of theirs. Don't come for me, huge Knack fans, because it's a, you can't listen to the lyrics. It's a pedo stalker song. And it was just really prevalent in the TV we watch and the music, you know. Well, all these guys, mostly guys, because I don't want to diss the female, very serious female presence of rock in the 70s and 80s, and no matter what year, but especially during that time too. That's why it's funny, because I was rocking out to that song, so I was listening to it on my soundtrack, as I just said, and besides it being a little problematic, though he does ask, that's something, you know. It was a little more subtle, I guess. Like, I'm giving you a choice. But then, because I was originally I have done 2 or 3 of these videos and haven't. I think I downloaded one of them, but I haven't made it public. And I think this one will supplant it. But I'm titling this Little Girl Blue because I think that's what I'm always going to be. Even when I was on my former dose of Clonopin, and believe me, my life, it was life-changing in the best possible sense. I still, deep down, am and I know this sounds really corny, but I am the girl in that song who was probably a mixture of Janis Joplin, if not completely Janis Joplin, like autobiographical. It very well could be, but it could be it feels like one for me, too. You know, oh, count your fingers. I think I may be able to say one more line, and it's my favorite. It's right at the end when she's like, my unhappy, my unlucky. When she says, my unlucky, little girl blue. Oh, it's gut-wrenching. But it's like, you can't not listen to it. It's absolutely, she pours her heart and soul and her pancreas into that song. And so that's the title of this, as far as I know, last video, because I need to pull in the belt even tighter. So I'm going to go without gummies, which will save me. Sorry, I won't be able to support, but I've supported them for 2 years. And hopefully, maybe one day I'll go back. Now I'm saying this while I'm high and have one gummy left. Talk to me a week from now, except I'm not going to have any more videos because it's called 2 Gummies in a Video. And that will only be 1 gummy, and then there will be no gummies. Because I need to save money for this trip. But, like I said, I got, they offered a great incentive. I got 10% member because I signed up at 10% off. I'm on shoulder season, which the Shelley family apprised me of. They taught me that. Shoulder season. I'd heard of it in the past, but since I've never traveled anywhere outside of probably the most exciting, seriously, was Nova Scotia, because it actually was in a different country. And it was very Anne of Green Gables, so I never did get to where she lived, where the books took place. But it was, and obviously didn't need a passport because I didn't have a passport at that time. But I want to, who knows how much time we have left? He knows how much time I have left. And that's not just a threat or anything for me trying to seek attention. It's just that I have chronic suicidal ideation. And, you know, there were, like I said, life is really, really short. And I'm always going to be in debt. I guess now that the SAVE Act or whatever, they trashed that. So all college students are going to have to start paying their bills a lot sooner than they thought, including myself. Yes, I still have student debt. I'm always going to be in debt because that's what capitalism is. It's a debt and interest. Usury, which is thought of as so disgusting, despicable in the Bible's eyes, or the men who read the Bible. Usury was considered like one of the worst things you could possibly do, and that's what we're doing. Interest rates, like a 35% interest rate on the credit card, which mine is probably close to as I inch my way towards paying that down. And the banks get bailed out constantly. See, I always go dark. That's why this is Little Girl Blue, because it's, you know, I hope I get good therapy. Yes, I do need to talk to someone again, I think. And because I did notice a difference. I'm on the highest dose the current doctor will give me of it. And I did notice a difference. Now it's settled because it's fast acting, but it settles after a while. And then he upped my Celexa, I guess I was taking, which I have never felt any relief from. And when I talked to him the last time, he said, "Oh no, what you were on isn't enough. We're going to up that." So I'm taking an increased dose of that. But since I don't recall it working at all with their, you know what I'm saying? Just, there is a time tonight to use medications to vastly improve someone's life. But to just be like, I had been telling him this from the get-go, that stuff never worked for me. And all of a sudden he said, "Oh, you're not on enough? Let's give you some more." He interpreted that as meaning I wasn't taking enough. So let's give me more. Which is why I will be having a female psychiatrist in a very short time in the future. So we'll see. I have to go to work afterwards. So that's going to be an interesting day, especially without gummies. But I'm going to really give it a try because I need to save. And I'll still, you know, I'll be in debt. But I'd rather be in debt and have 5 glorious days, plus the excitement of traveling. And I know I say that now, but I'm going to be on an economy flight for probably 20 hours. So I will deserve those 5 days of, I'm buying a black bikini from ThredUp. That is my gift to myself. My other gift to myself. I haven't had a true vacation in like 15 years. My friend, you know, not to dismiss the trips that she has taken up here to see me and took me here to visit before I moved here. I have wonderful memories and some of the best times we spent together as friends. It's like my big brother. But I need to get out of the city. And I need water, I need ocean, I need the sound of the ocean, and I need sand between my toes, and I need a magnesium pool. I think that's awesome. Magnesium is supposed to be really good. I wonder what it'll do for I have not been in a bathing suit nor in a swimming pool 25 years. if not more. Because I hated my body so much. I would put a bathing suit on, or I'd put a t-shirt over it and not go in the water. Isn't it crazy how much time we spend worrying, hating our bodies? And missing out on joy just because capitalism and patriarchy and religion told us that our bodies are disgusting. And not only are they disgusting, but they're too fat, and they're too wobbly, and they have creases and imperfections. Or too skinny, on the other hand, as well. And because anorexia is a very serious problem too. That's my PSA. But I'm just going to hope that with my continued free usage, I'm just taking the free, he sends me free emails and information about, he says reversing RA, if I could just manage it well without medication, because I will no longer deal with the credo, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to hope that, I mean, look how it's so much less red than it was before. Still have it there, but this finger, those are rheumatoid nodules. And the reason I didn't know I had those rheumatoid nodules while on medication is that the swelling was so kind of like, Mary does that anyway. That certainly wasn't my marriage proposal. I've never been able to see those. It was like those that were on my lung when I had lung surgery. I'm sorry, but stupid surgeon was 99.9% sure, because he didn't go into any other of my medical information like that. I had rheumatoid arthritis. To say, oh, maybe this is a rheumatoid arthritis natural. Probably something to do with the fact that he was a man and I was a woman. But I would never have known I had those rheumatoid nodules that actually are looking better. Thank you, Dr. Pattison. I'm in no way, like I said, I'm not a sponsor or anything like that. I'm getting all of this free information, and it seems to be helping. It seems pretty common sense, and I've been doing a lot of it anyway. But I'm just going to see how it goes. My neck hurts, but then my neck hurt. Remember, I had horrible neck pain for 2 months, and it was on medication. So, yeah. Anything else I was going to say? So no more gummies. Maybe I'll do a video a month from now and be like, or even a week from now, and be like, I did it. But see, like I said, there are going to be 2 gummies in the microphone. And I'm hoping this will help me being off gummies. Not that you can't be very creative with gummies. Now, if I took 1 gummy, I think that would be different. But I need to, because I can't take, though, like sometimes, like when I have to work the next day, and I'm feeling extra anxious or just unsettled, or I have to go to sleep soon because I gotta get up early, and I'll take 1, and I did last week, or earlier this week, I can't remember, and I felt it. It was very nice, but I don't want to do that again because it felt so nice, just the 1. And I just thought it would be kooky to do the 2 and see what comes out of this. Out of my mouth. I don't want to say anything that is construed sexual. I'm past that. Though I have to say, let's say, oh yeah, I said I was buying a black bikini, and I mean it. Now, my stomach is pretty flat, but I do want to tighten it up, tone it up, more for my RA than anything else. But I've been doing the squats and everything for my knees and arm exercises. I do have some stretchy bands. I want to tone more, and that's not just because I'm going to wear a black bikini in Greece as I do gentle laps in a magnesium pool. But we do need to be stronger. I have to say, doing the hand, I found this was on Pinterest about best hand exercises for RA, and I've been doing them. And look at this fist. Does it hurt? Yes. This finger joint is just look how fucked up it is. And the pinky one was inflamed too, but it has since gone down. I still feel a little bit there, right there. Well, I figured you do care enough. It's a little warm, but I mean, I'm also hot too, which could. And hey, we'll see. That might though. What it also does is relaxes my body, so my area means that I don't think I'm ever going to be without the pain, especially because damage has been done, which causes pain. And unless I want a hand transplant. I mean, hell, I had a knee transplant. Let's hope this baby stays. Maybe because I'm vegan and I'm mostly whole food plant-based, no oil. I'm probably 90% that. Because they mentioned no oil, except to rub on your on your knees. Dr. Gregor, whose information in my link, he did a video. I read the transcript of because he only uses like the highest peer-reviewed, double-blind studies that have not been funded by the pharmaceutical companies, but he does include those too to say, oh yeah, this works, but it was funded by the company that made it. You know what I'm talking about. We live in such corrupt times. I guess we always have, since men made religion and capitalism the unholy trinity. What was the other one? Oh, patriarchy. That has caused so many deaths, if you think about it, the patriarchy. So the whole menage a trois has caused so much needless pain, suffering, and the destruction of our world, and they don't care. I just see these, I get this image of, and it's very macabre. I was watching the SNOOP Sisters last night, and they have Vincent Price as a guest star, and they were showing old movies of his character, who's very much based on, or not based on, but very similar to him. Anyway, so they were showing old videos, old films of his in his heyday, and thinking about how so few hold so much love. And there is a trickle-down effect, obviously, but it trickles down to the lowly millionaires, multimillionaires, or the less billionaires, or whatever. But it just reminds me of an image. An image came to mind, let's say, and it's all like red and black tattooed like this. And it's like the one most wealthy male, as we know as a male, well, I'll say person, is at the tippy top. And, of course, looks like this demon from, just a demon, I guess, from hell, for lack of a better, I don't believe in hell, but if there were such a place, he would be like the devil of hell, as opposed to the devil of heaven. And drips of his blood. They're like slowly, like tiny rivers down his devil apparel. And then all of these groupies, these cronies, and these people who have sold their soul to him. I'm going to say it to him this time. Well, because anyway, it's beside the point. And then, as the like blood trickles down, 80s reference, destroyed this country, created homelessness, and then all these little minions of his are like trying to, like Gollum, they're like trying to crawl up like 90-degree cliff walls to get to it, to get just a drop of it. That's what came to me when I thought about our current state of affairs. That's the image I got. I'd be great at Republican PR, wouldn't I? But they're not even Republicans. Republicans of old. Now, I'm not history guru, not guru, but expert by any means. But I believe Republicans haven't always been this way. And I'm talking before Reagan, because Reagan, and then I guess a little before Reagan. But who was it, Kissinger or somebody? I don't know. Don't quote me on any of that, but it feels like right before the 80s, and I think it goes with that like white evangelical bullshit, and pushed us into this depravity, this diminishing world, and expensive place to live. So a lot of people don't have homes. Oh God, we've gone over 33 minutes. I'm going to put down, I probably already did, but if you haven't read Half Earth Socialism, I'll recommend it, because that's what I consider myself now. So I'm one of very few people. But it really aligns a lot with me. Anyway, no more gummies. Hence the end of this channel, but I'm hoping it'll help me write more, because I really want to write. I've been reading a lot. Warring Girl. This was written 400 years ago, and it's based on the female main character is based, it's a comedy. Mole Cutpurse, she's a fictionalized version of Mary Frith, who attained legendary status in London and flouting gender dress conventions, illegally performing on stage and engaging in all manner of transgressive behavior, from smoking and swearing to stealing. And they love her in this book, these guys. So I'm all over that, which just goes to show. I think I said it in my previous video that I downloaded but didn't publish was, we're all okay at some point. No, I'm just kidding. Because you can't just stop being gay. Um, I'm sure plenty of closeted gays have. Oh, horrible, just horrible. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying it, and I'm reading a play. It's a play, and I would love to see it. And that's an actual portrait of Mary Frith. I grew up with some Friths. I wonder how they're doing. I hope they're doing all right. And I can't believe they're fucking 57 years old, or close to 57 years old, like I am. Boggles the mind. And I just started Frankenstein because I am in this. Her story about her mother and father, William Godwin and Mary Wollstonecraft. And this isn't even an annotated version, just the little history you get, the introduction. What a life, you know? So, I am loving this. I have not seen, everyone I know has seen the film, but only if it comes on YouTube, which I doubt it will, or it's on Netflix now, so I don't think it's going to be. Well, you never know. Because I don't go to movie theaters anymore. And actually, I had heard some. I don't go to movies anymore. Let's just leave it at that. But I have heard some critique of the film too. I don't know who either actor is who stars in it. Not a clue. And so that brings us to me trying to chill myself the fuck out. Boundless Heart by Christina Feldman. I don't align with any faith. I'm not a person of faith, but I feel like you can gain wisdom from a little bit of everything without calling it the word of God. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense. Somebody just put it in a book and said some man in the sky wrote it or told us to write it. The illiterate shepherds or whatever the hell they were. The Buddhist path, kindness, compassion, joy, and I like this equanimity. I need a lot of that. I need all of those things. Anyway, I highly recommend this too. This is very good. I like to read this. I've actually been reading this like on free days, like when I have my morning coffee. But I also try, if I don't do that, I try to read a little bit at night before bed. Except Frankenstein has fucking stole the thunder. It's so good. Oh, and it makes me so proud to be a woman that she came from such a, she lost her mother like 3 months after she had her, something like that. Her mother died soon after she gave birth to her. So she had this legacy, this larger than life. And this woman was incredible. The things she was saying back then. And I mean, it's just this, I need to find some like people's best biography of certain people, because I would love to read more about that. Anyway, and then I've got these on the wings. Oh, and I still can't get through Rebecca Solnit's book, even though it's really good, because it's the abortion chapter, and I'm going to get very angry. So I guess I should probably read it now, because I will not have gummies. I will only have meditation and all the other healthy things I try to do as much as possible. But I've got this one, ex-white. Again, 20s. Is it written in the 20s? Oh, yeah. Instant bestseller when it's published anonymously, probably by a woman, of course, in 1929. Now, first of all, that cover is to die for. I love that cover. But then again, it's about it's just so fabulous. These people who have more money than they just sit around bored all day. It's 1924. This is just a little from the insert from the book. I'm giving credit to the book because I'm reading from the insert. Peter and Patricia have what looks to be a very modern marriage. Both drink, both smoke, both work. Patricia as a head copywriter at a major department store. When it comes to sex with other people, both believe in the, quote, the honesty policy, unquote, until they don't. Or at least until Peter doesn't. And a shell-shocked, lovesick Patricia finds herself starting out all over again, but this time around as a different kind of single woman, the ex-wife. Quoted from the insert from this book, I give full credit. I'll put the link down below. But does that sound? Oh, that picture. What is that picture of? It'll say somewhere. Let's say it in the back. Cover image, Art Deco Moga, or Modern Girl Dancing, woodblock print. Modern Girl Dancing, look at that. That book fucked me up. I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, Jenny Lawson has a new book out, and she's about as close to the edge as I am. I've read her other books. I don't know if all of her other books, but at least her first two books. And I laughed a lot, so I should read this while I'm high. Because that would make me laugh even more. So that's in the wings. And then I read the first in this series. And it takes place in Calcutta of the 20s. Let me make sure I have this right. Yes, India, 1920, Calcutta Police Force. And it's a British captain who's been sent over from London. And he works with, look at me. He works with Sergeant Banerjee of the Calcutta Police Force, which means that they're different shades of color. And this is right around, when India was like, well, because they were doing what we did, colonized, and they stripped them of it. Anyway, they had a lot of issues, and very serious issues, but I won't go into it. But it's very wittily written, very well written, and I couldn't help myself. This is the second one. Let me see if I can get to it. I'm trying. Still got to fill out my friggin'. I spent 2 hours filling out that SSDI form, and I haven't even gotten to the medical stuff. They make it so damn impossible. Even when there's a piece of paper that says, you give us permission to check all your medical records, so why the fuck do I need to write it all down? Especially as someone who's been homeless 3 times. You lose your stuff. Well, you lose your shit, but you lose your stuff. Hey, I worked through that. I worked while I was homeless. And I'm not saying that I'm saying that as a lot of people work and are homeless. I was one of those. And you just lose stuff. I had to keep moving, not as often as, and I moved to people's homes, one time in a shelter, and the other time into homes. One that was, I felt guilt every night, it was still an amicable and 5 months that she allowed me to stay with her. And she was going through a divorce, so I think because I had been going through a divorce, and she's trying to sell a house, and anyway, thank you, Margaret Ann, for that, because, and I have to thank my mom, too. even though my poor mom, she's been with a man she's hated since 6 months after she moved in with him. She realized romantic trysts and marriage and living with someone. You don't have to be married, but it makes it a hell of a lot easier to leave in most cases. Um, um, like I said, so weekend trysts are you can gloss over his imperfections and your own, because my mother was not well. She had a lot of unhealed trauma. Rape victim, father left her before she was born. You know, that's in utero trauma, which is, I think, Jill especially had intrauterine trauma. I'm sorry, it's just a friend of mine at work, and we have our little thing where we go, Miami. Does anybody remember that Golden Girls episode where Rose is writing a song about Miami? You'll know what, when we sing Miami or Intrauterine, you know what we're talking about. Gen X, best, one of the best shows ever. And people from other, you know why it's such a fucking good show? Because young people today like it. People even older than I like it. Everybody loves that fucking show. And that's what we have to do, which is really hard. I mean, it's a wonderful thing in many, many ways. They had each other's support, you know, friendship, uh, rent help so you can live in a house, the roof on it, the plumbing, uh, you know, and we're getting back to that. The only thing is, I am someone who needs solitude. You know, I've lived with plenty of roommates. Well, I've always lived with roommates, count husband. Um, he's the only one I ever lived with before. We lived together before we got married. I don't think I've never lived with anybody else. But you go from living with your family, and actually I have had chances to live on my own. Like when I decided to move to right over the Maryland line into Pennsylvania. I wanted to try small town life. So I did. Hey, I'm a fucking strong person that I did that. I was, what, 22, 23? I don't know. Mid-20s at the most. And I thought, I wonder what a small town is like. This particular one. I'm not going to say it all sucked, because I did audition and was one of the, I guess, backup singers in their community production of Nonsense. I was trying to assimilate, but just not enough diversity. We'll put it that way. It's not enough diversity. I'd end up driving home every week, and it was a beautiful drive, I have to say. Beautiful drive. I loved it. That was maybe the best part. Also, I lived across the street from where I worked, so I had absolutely no commute. So it didn't seem so bad taking my, I didn't put that. The only time I put mileage on my car was driving to and from Maryland every weekend, or to and from Maryland back to Pennsylvania, right over the line, basically. Anyway, so I've got that on my plate. And let's see, I have listened to some albums in full. Tonight, I'm going to finish watching Snoop Sisters, or at least finish this one. There's one more left. They only did 5 or 6. And then they canceled the show, and it's so good. It's funny. It was right before Murder She Wrote came out. Bastards. I can understand the appeal of it because Angela Lansbury is wonderful, but just a little too patriotic, just a little too American. Hell, I don't know. If it ever came, would I watch it? I don't think so. I haven't so, thus far, and I'm sure it's a perfectly fine show. So much so that I can't remember what the name of the show was. Oh, Merge. But Snoop Sisters, Helen fucking Hayes, and Mildred. God damn it! If you were a classic movie buff, you would. And she's been in so many things. God damn it! All right, before I get off, I will get her name because I can't, because she's just as good. And they have like Vincent Price, Roddy McDowell, or McDowell, the thin one with the brown hair. Is it Roddy McDowell? Anyway, first let me just look this up. Because she's the, what did I say? Snoop Sisters. Cast. Mildred Natwick. Let me see if I can show it. Oh, she's been in so much. Oh, she was born in Baltimore. She's a Maryland girl. No wonder I like her so much. She was nominated for an Academy Award. She won a Primetime Emmy Award, and she was also nominated for 2 Tony Awards. You go, girl. Anyway, she's in the Snoop Sisters too, and they play off each other so well. And they defy conventions in their own way. Let me just tell you that. There's a scene of them jogging while talking. Yeah, this is 1974, but he's, this is what I'm saying is, you could be that healthy. You just have to work at it. I say that as I have to move my legs because of my debilitating. Alright. I was just sitting in one position too long. But see, I was doing this when I was on medication too. Oh shoot, I did the legs in the wrong order. Oh well. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish watching that, or at least the second to the last episode. We'll see. And then I want to listen to Pearl, like Janis Joplin, and came across Red Rocks Live's July 8th, 1978, Grateful Dead. I don't know why I'm doing this to you. I feel like, leave those kids alone. But I have seen shows at Red Rocks when I lived out west. And it's a beautiful way to hear music. I wish I could remember who I saw there. Maybe the Allman Brothers. Maybe Counting Crows. I can't recall. But it was good. Excuse me. I may not get to that trip. I may die beforehand. But, yeah. We'll see if I can get to those two. Plus read. So, I will be, who knows, maybe I'll do a little vlog of my trip there. I expect most of it will be in front of magnesium pool. I have to make myself do an electric bike to the beach. I have to, and I can't. I'm at shoulder season, so hopefully it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. If shoulders can do it, I can do it. But it's also not that far from walk either. I'll see how long the walk is. Anyway, yeah, that's my big thing. So, because of this trip, I have to scrimp and save and scrimp some more. So, no more chew gummies for now. Though, who knows? It may turn out to be a vlog. I could be the next Shirley Valentine. One of my favorite films of all time, and I'm sure I've put it down below before. I know the fact that I have. And it's about a woman who's like, my husband is boring as fuck. I don't love him. So she goes to Greece. And she takes Alison Steadman is in this film, and she and the main character, the actress's name I can't recall. It's just that Alison Steadman is in some of my favorite shows of all time, and she's just, I can't take her. She's so good. But the woman who plays Shirley Valentine is wonderful too. And no, it's on high, or otherwise I'm sure I would get it. Anyway, I highly recommend that because that's what I feel like I'm doing in a way. And it only took 20. I probably saw that. I've watched it many times. But I've probably seen that film 5 or 6 times. It was calling to me. I wonder if I can get a work visa. Or a visa. Just a visa. I'm sure it costs a shit ton of money. Let me get the SSD, I think, done first. See, I want to get it all done. This, I can't believe I did it. Like I said, I got the plan where there's no cancellation fee up to a month beforehand. I needed that. And I got half board because I only get 2 meals a day, and if I really want something, I can, whatever. There's an open bar, and I'm sure they have mocktails too. Oh, I may have a cocktail or two. I'm not going to deprive myself on the delicious food that they have there, and I'm going to swim it off, and I'm going to lie in the sun. I'm going to get one of those straw hats too. Plenty of sunscreen. They have their own vegan toiletries, I think. I need to make sure. I'm already emailing this place because I'm so excited. I haven't even booked the tickets, but I have to soon because oil prices are going to be going up because this motherfucker and his fucking stupid war that never should have happened, and all of the, I hate to say pansies because that's a slur against gay people, but these dickwads, how's that? Dickwads. You're all a bunch of dickwads. You're all pieces of shit who condone this and sat on your ass and just said nothing, would clock out while this is going on and come back from recess early. You people are disgusting. Disgusting. I know, like Trixie has said, she's the only celebrity I really listen to. But, she's like, I'm telling people, if you voted for that man, that's it. That's it. There will be no more. I will never forget that you did that. And she, because, of course, she's an ally to all women, but also for trans rights, for LGBTQIA rights, because now just being gay, they're going to start that. It's just madness. And that's why I have to end with Luscious Massacre, who has been on Trixie's show and Bald and the Beautiful, and she is now my 3rd favorite. She spoke some truth, can I tell you? And I'm going to end it with one of the biggest gems that she spoke on that. I can't remember if it was on with Trixie or with Bald and the Beautiful, but they're both. I absolutely recommend. I'll link them down below. that you watch them both, because she is saying it, and she said this is how she ended. Well, she didn't end it, but this is how I'm going to end it. Men need to get in touch with their buttholes. You need to have some butthole play. You need to familiarize yourself with that area. Because, straight guys go to gay men. They're either closeted gay or they're bi. They're certainly not. Well, I don't know. But a lot of them are very straight. And I heard Trixie say, like, the best thing about having sex with straight guys, how embarrassed they look. Damn. And yet I get it. And yet I sympathize, because to be so, but of course all these others did it, but everyone's on their own journey. And so many have lost families. How can you not love your child? Or just like stop that love? How can you just like cut it off over something like that? Over who your child chooses to love or not love? I just don't get it. I don't understand that. So anyway, kind of gone over an hour. Well, I guess it's okay. I've only done it every other time for the most part. And it is my last video. So I recommend any of those books, even though half of them I haven't read. Actually, all of them I haven't finished reading, but I am reading 3 of them. But those others look really good too, and that's I shouldn't say it. I don't want to bogart the language, but I keep saying that's the tea. Or I doubt we'll ever see some researchers again. Miss Katya. It was a fun episode, but not as good as when you're there. It's never as good as when you're there. So, maybe I'll see you all around again. I may have hit the button already by accident, but no, I didn't. And I actually hope that everyone finds joy somehow, or makes joy, even if you have to go into it for it, which I'm always going to have to do, because I'm always going to be into it. But that's kind of like that's my little gold blue right there. So see you on the other side, okay?